So YouTube's still screwing us slightly. Yeah, it looks like it's going to take another day for us to actually get YouTube streaming up and running, which is really it's my own fault. Didn't, verify quick enough. Although I swear you don't actually need to verify for live streaming. But now that I've actually clicked the verify account button, it won't actually let me live stream until it's up. It's fine. Hello everyone. Hopefully we're doing fantastically well today. Good to see you, TV. Yes, indeed, we are mathsing today. This is going to be fine. This is going to be really good. This is going to be really good. So yeah, in case you haven't noticed, I have actually started streaming an hour later than I said I would yesterday. This is not an error. Well, it is an error, but it's an error on my part. But not that kind of error. So, I was meant to be going to the cinema today. In fact, the movie's about to start. Okay, to be fair, the movie's about to start in another hour and a half. But my thought had been, I would come home, I would make food, I would do a stream, and then I would go to the cinema. But the cinema sold out. So, oh no, now I have to actually spend all this time doing some more programming. Woe is me. Well, not as if I haven't already signed up to be doing this anyway. So, yeah, we're just going to be continuing doing some more work. This is day 2 of development of Game Jam. This is totally fine. This is totally fine, and I'm totally prepared. Let's, wait, is it this one? What's this? Wait, that's a Python thingamajigger. Right, we can get rid of that. We can get rid of that. Obsidian. There we go! Now we have something. 2 does indeed come after 1. This is true. This is true. So, quick little diary entry. Quick little diary entry, I'm thinking, just to get a note. And the natural numbers anyway, this is also true. So yeah, we'll do a quick diary entry just to kind of get us started. So, how am I feeling? Disappointed. I'm not watching movie, but happy to have excuse to do more work. Yes! Because I am, actually. It's going to be very good. So, today's plan, we're continuing work on prototyping. Is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be implementing better work in progress calculations and distributions. With apologies to everyone who is bad at statistics. And I think we'll also play around with a little bit of Pygame as well. Test some Pygame functionality. Displaying images, sprites, saving, etc. Just so that we start getting a little bit more of a feel for it, because some of the stuff I have done, but if I have, it's been a while. So we're gonna actually have to, kind of like try and pick up some of those little things that we might have forgotten. But that's the day's plan, and we'll kind of pick things up from there. So let's have a little look at our progress board. We are in progress on the planning. We are in progress on the prototyping. Music selection I will want done in another 2 days as well. I'm thinking maybe tomorrow we end up listening to some music. We'll maybe start listening to some music, planning a little bit of writing, potentially. Well, we'll do some prototyping as well, but yeah, we'll give that a shot. Give that a look. But yes, as part of what I did today, honestly, today at work, as I said, part of my plan is that I will be doing a little bit of prep at work. Wendy, good to see you, Wendy. Hopefully you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully all is good with you. But yeah, so I am planning on doing some work at work, funnily enough, when I get a short moment, when it's lunchtime. And I did get a little bit done, so mostly what I've got done is I did a little bit of looking into how log normal distributions work, and also getting a bit of a feel for some of the stats around what is going to be necessary for what are they called? For blah 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 blah. For the Melanie words. The distribution of ages that people will be attending the gym with. So I actually looked up some gym-based statistics on this, which is very fun actually. Nucleos, good to see you, Nucleos. Hopefully you're doing well. We are just getting started. You've not missed anything so far. But yes, we're implementing some more maths as part of the plan. So we're implementing some. Wait, wrong tab. Right, this is fine. Yeah. So we're implementing some maths. We are doing some more prototyping, and then we're testing some Pygame functionality. That is the plan for today. So yeah, let's see. I need to change, owner age. This is going to be an interesting one. Right now we're doing 18 plus random number between 1 and 10, random number between 1 and 5, random number between 1 and 5. So that's actually not too bad. Like, according to my little bit of research, which is very limited to be honest, the average age of a gym membership holder is 36 years old. Just 36 years old, which isn't that bad actually. Like it's a lot less tricky to work with than I was expecting. So yeah, we're going to be looking at this distribution going on here. So, and then we've got all this bin stuff. So we're going to open up the distribution tests again. Is what we're going to do. We don't need to worry about the 10 pool, although we will come back to that. This is why we've got some testing. Testing is nice. So the average is going to be 36. And then as we decrease the sigma, the standard deviation, the easier it's going to be to see the features that we want to see. So if I were to run this now, we should see quite a broad distribution going on. So let's see if... Wait, does it work? There we go. Okay, so I can see the distribution. This is kind of handy. Hold on. Is it under this one? There we go! So now we've got a nice little distribution here. So we're going to be using this as our reference. This is going to tell us some interesting and useful information about what this is going to be. The average value needs to be roughly 36, and then 63% of gym memberships are held by people between the ages of 18 and 44. This is how I start doing things, right? I need to have numbers to work with so that I can then build from there. This is just how my brain works. I need to have these numbers to work with. So the peak here, the very highest point is, the scale's way off because it's like e to the 16 all the way over here. I don't know what's going on with the scale, seriously. But yeah, e to the 16 anyway. We can just normalize this scale and then we're happy. So we've got a value up here at 3.3 to the 15. And this goes all the way to e to the 16. So we're gonna wanna scale this down quite a bit. Alright, we're gonna use this to figure out where reasonable values are going to be. So we want roughly 40% to be in there, probably somewhere around here, because there's gonna be quite a tail is the thing. So let's zoom to roughly around, we're gonna say like the upper age of someone being alive is gonna be somewhere in the region of like 100-ish. And like, okay, 38. 38 times times 3 is 114. So that's roughly that's roughly it. So if we take the is that quite right? I mean, that is right, but if this peak here is at 0.33, 3 times that takes us to 1. So if we make 100, and then we kind of go from there. That's not worked. I'm really bad at scaling these things right. But yeah, so if we go, this is being 100, and then this being 30 something or other, 0. People are not gonna have gym memberships for the first like chunk of their life. Yeah. That's, I mean, that's not bad. That's not a bad starting spot to work with. Let's do another little zoom just to make a little bit more sense of this. So roughly just a wee bit past 1. Yeah. First third of your life until you're like 10, you probably don't have a gym membership. A little bit up until you're 20, although this will probably start a wee bit lower. So how do we change this figure? Let's hold on to this figure. We'll run it again, and we'll see if it looks any different. Oh wait, we don't want to run it again. Running it again makes no difference. We do need to change something. Let's make a 0.25 sigma. Is it mirrors that spread out quite a lot? It kind of has, but that's actually kind of helpful. It's like, it's tightening. I don't want it to tighten too much. I need it to broaden quite a bit. So maybe like 0.75. I mean, 0.1 is probably not a terrible place to start. Eesh. Okay. Let's zoom. Oh dear. I wanted to zoom, not move. So we'll zoom into around about here. Yeah, very small number of bins. That's the average. Yeah, okay, so that's a bit too far the other way. What about if we do like 0.6? Yeah, the standard deviation is going to be the tricky part. Getting this about right. That is looking a wee bit better. I'm a bit happy with that. If that's, I mean, that's not the average. The average is around about here-ish or so. But yeah, this kind of scale's really weird. Not quite sure what it's trying to express. It's not the most intuitive axes, which is not very helpful. But it's fine. Still, these distributions helpful. Perhaps more maths needs to be done. Just a little bit. See, this is why I didn't want to overly complicate things in terms of maths, because... yeah. Yeah, am I missing something here? I think there's something going on in the PDF calculation. I think there is. I think there is, actually. Where's my thingamajiggy? Log normal distribution. Let's see. It's got a pi in it. Why is there a pi? There's always a pi. Pi in the entropy function. The pi in EDF, which is probability density function. Okay. I feel like I've got this the wrong way around. No, that's the calculation. That's fine. But there is a problem with the scale. There's a problem with the scale. Okay, that's fine. This is fine here. This is also fine. But there's a problem with the scale. There's 10,000 bins. The values have an average of 36, whatever they are. There's 1,000 bins. 10,000 bins. Should there be 10,000 bins? I don't think there should be 10,000 bins. Maybe like 100 bins? Let's try this. Yeah, because we've got bin 100. No, we've got 100 bins already. So why is it coming out super duper weird? Maybe we should reduce it somewhat. I don't get why this is e to the 16 though. Let's go down to 50 bins and we'll see what that does. Yeah, I didn't quite get enough time to do a lot of testing with this at home. That just reduces the number of these bins, which makes the bars wider. These are 2-year ranges rather than anything else, but that's not right. Or is it right and I'm just dumb? Move this up to 120. Average is fine. What happens if we do standard deviation of 1? That's super narrow. So I think we're looking for like the ideal standard deviation then. So let's do a binary search. We'll do 0.5. That's looking quite a bit better. 100 bins from here to here. We need more variance. So let's do 0.25. Come on. Give me something I can work with. Please. Come on. Did it crash? No, it just didn't turn off. That's fine. Okay, that's looking interesting. That's looking much better actually. I think it's slightly too high now, so I'm gonna set it to 0.3. That's really interesting. So that peaks at 326. That's pretty good. Gonna go 0.275. This is how we do. This is how we do. So now that's 3.5. And the peak's going to be a little bit after that, so 3... Oh wait, no, that's too far. I was looking at the wrong value. Let's go back up to 0.3, I think. Yeah, I was looking at the y-axis rather than the x-axis, but that's fine. Peak is at 3.8. Just a little too high then. So what about if we do 3.25? Peaks at 3.8 again for some reason. Maybe 3.5. We might not just be moving enough. Peak at 3.6. I'm gonna put to 4. Or rather 0.4. I'm doing this right, aren't I? I think I am. Am I doing this wrong? 3.6. Okay, that's wonderful. We've got our distribution. Patchy, 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 patchy. We have our distribution. Fantastic. 120 bins to represent the, you know, upper limit of 100 years. 120 years of someone's life. I think the oldest person is around 120. Who knows? Maybe we have the oldest person in the world in our gym. This is just for gym memberships, not for age of the population. Which is totally fine. I think I like this. This is not the perfect average, but the thing is, it will give us a distribution. Which is also slightly weighted lower, which is, you know, anime. So this is fine. So yeah, on this chart, the lowest age someone would be coming in would be around 10. But we don't actually count them until they're 18, which is roughly down here. Then gym membership goes up. I feel like it could be a bit sharper at the lower values, but not the biggest deal in the world. Not the biggest deal in the world. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Like anyone lower will just like bump to 18. Sounds good to me. Okay. This is really good. This is really good. So, oh, I'm very happy about this. Okay. So now we've got our values. I can ignore this scale factor, by the way. It doesn't matter. These are the values for getting someone's age. And the thing is, we can use a very similar function, but we will have to play around with it a little to get something good for the age of the shoes themselves. So for set owner age, we're going to comment this out, paste in these lines, mu sigma, we get the value, but we just need to return. We just need to return whatever this value is. We also don't need a size because this is fine. We're just getting a random number in this range. That's very good. Right, okay. Very happy with life right about now. Turn off distribution tests. Do we have an age test? Or like an owner test? We had one in shoe test. So let's do an age test just to find things out. Owner age test. Or rather, it should be test age owner. But still. And then we just do... Where is it? Set owner age 10 times. Then we run owner age test. Run it. Give me those ages. They're arbitrarily high. Why are they so high? It's because I haven't set a scale, isn't it? I've not set a scale. I've got a distribution, but I don't have a scale. The thing is, I don't get it because I've set what the average is. It's 36. So why is it giving me such arbitrarily large numbers? Is there a problem with the log normal function? What's going on here? I'm missing something. Draw samples from log normal distribution with specified mean, standard deviation, and array shape. Mean and standard deviation are not the values for the distribution itself, but the underlying normal distribution it is derived from. The hell? Right, I'm definitely missing something here. The mean value of the underlying normal distribution. What? Right, okay. What if we set mu sigma to just be 0 and 1? We're just going to set them to 0 and 1, and we're going to see what it does. Just with the distribution test. So I can, you know, get a little bit of a feel for what it's doing. You see, that looks reasonable. That looks reasonable. So, okay, that's interesting. Okay, maybe I am going about this wrong. Maybe I am going about this wrong. Okay, hold on. More experiment time. We're putting our experiment hat on. I'm just gonna leave the distribution as it is, and we are going to play around with this a little bit. I like to play in case it's not obvious. So this is interesting. Okay. Go to 0.25. Okay, that's looking much more interesting. Let's go to 125. Okay, this is looking pretty promising, actually. This is looking pretty promising. Now I just need to increase the scale. Can I just increase the scale by increasing the sigma? What happens if I increase the sigma now? So at a sigma, or rather not the sigma, the mean. So with a sigma of 0.125, that's roughly something that I'm interested in. Let's increase the mean to 1 and see what that does. Okay, so that has increased by about a factor of E, roughly, which is very interesting. Change that up to 2. Does this increase to 2E or 7? Okay, that's like 7.5. Yeah, that's about 2E, isn't it? So if I go to 10, that goes to a ridiculous degree. Okay, there's some kind of exponential thing going on here. I'm not the most familiar with this maths, but it does interest me. That's interesting. Okay, so at 3, I think we go 3.5 now. Let's just go binary search. 3.5. Getting close. 3.75. That's too high. That's at 41 point whatever. So 3.625. It's the peak at 36.7. Gonna go down a little more, just to 3.62. That peak is at 36. We have our distribution. I mean, this looks quite a lot like a normal distribution, to be entirely honest. If anything, I think... Right, that seems about right for the average, but I think the tail's a bit too unaggressive. So what if we put this back up to 2.5 just now and see what happens? So that drops down to like 35. 36 is like here. But that does give us quite a bit more in the way of like pensioners. Yeah, I think this is perfect. Pensioners and like middle-aged people are slightly more frequent. We could do with more people in the younger cohorts, to be quite honest. Maybe. I like this though. This is good. Okay, I think we don't touch the average. I think we just play around with the sigma a little bit. Right, I'm just gonna copy this, save that, and then we'll put this down to like 3.5 just to kind of see what it does. Because it should be more youthful people. I mean, like the average is older. Maybe that's part of the thing. Maybe we're accidentally making a MILF game. Are you making a MILF game? We might be making a MILF game. Because yeah, I suppose there's only so many 20-somethings going to the gym. I mean, I suppose it depends on what gym you go to. The only gyms I've been to have been like the gym at uni. Which may skew a little bit younger, to be honest. I've never been to an average gym. I think I can live with this. We'll go for the 3.6. Yeah, I don't go to the gym in case it's not obvious. I'm not really a gym bunny. But yeah, right. So now we've got better numbers. I love having numbers. Having numbers is really fun. So that sets those. Let's see. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have result equals 0 while result less than 18. We will run this and then we will turn result. So let's make sure that there are no children allowed. No children allowed in the gym. Adults only. This guarantees that we will only get adults in the gym. Which is just good for my conscience as much as anything else. And what's appropriate to put in a game. So yeah, we're getting quite a lot of middle-aged people. People in the 30s, people in the 40s, a couple of people in the 50s. Should we skew the numbers a little bit and go for a slightly more hip and trendy clientele? I think maybe we should. Just a little bit. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with, 30 to 50-year-olds in the gym. Certainly not. But I can't help but notice that we're a little bit strict on this distribution here. Yeah, I think we need to flatten the distribution quite a bit. Yeah, cause like 40% of people is within the range of 18 and 44, or rather 63% of the people is within that range. And I'm hard capping it at 18 and lower, so there certainly should be a couple of like 18-year-olds and what have you. Let's trend things a little bit lower. Let's trend things a little bit lower. I don't know if people are just rolling their eyes and going, Mel, why are you taking this so seriously? It's fun. It's fun. Like, if I don't get this right, how am I supposed to do anything? Let's go down to 3.0 and just see what happens. 3.0, okay, 3.0 is definitely too young, because we only go up to 40. So let's go to 325. Because we want a good representation of younger folk. I think we're starting to get that. The average is definitely not... Yeah, we're... 335? 3375. Might want to play around with the Sigma a little bit as well. Yeah, the Sigma will let us trend upward a little too. Yeah, changing the average has an outsized effect on the younger generation. So we need a relatively small average, and then we increase the variance, I think. So let's try 125? 3 and 125. Interesting. Go 0625. No, I don't think this is working, is it? 3125. Yeah, because that's just narrowing the band. So we want to go bigger then. So we ended up setting it to... Where's it gone? 36225. Okay. So what if 37.5, or rather 0.375. Right, we start going quite a bit wider. We could probably increase the sigma a little bit as well. So let's set that to 0.5 as well. We've got to make them covariant. They would be co-moving variables, wouldn't they? Right, that's definitely better. I think I want higher variance though, so let's put that down to 325. Quite a bit too low there. Let's increase the variance to 0.4. That's somewhat more interesting. Lower cohorts are probably fine. We could probably increase sigma. Let's set it to 3.5. 0.4. Yeah, that's pretty promising actually. That's not too bad. Subtle changes here. Mostly in the sigma value, but or rather mostly in the sigma. The mu value doesn't change too much. So 36 is here, which is roughly the average. I'd say 40% of people are within the range of 18 and what have you. 18 and 44. That looks like it could be about, that's more like 20%. Maybe a slightly higher, make it 0.45 sigma. Then we start getting 175-year-olds, which is maybe a little bit much. But then we can also just sanitize that value. That looks a lot healthier though. Yeah, I think we just hard sanitize it if it's greater than 100. Probably if it's like a greater than 100, I think I'd say, yeah, we'll make it less than 120. We just hard cap at 120 with this mean and sigma. That sounds good. So that's a slight reduction in mean, increase in sigma. Or result greater than 120. Right, run this. Let's see what that distribution looks like. Not with that test though. Distribution test we don't want. We want the owner age test. Run it please. And now we get 41, 31, 44, 65, two 29-year-olds and a 26-year-old. That's a bit more reasonable. But how many rolls do I need to do to get someone under 20? Not that under 20 is very common, it's fairly low. Like below 25. These are very realistic numbers. We've got a 26-year-old in that cohort. 29-year-olds, 26-year-old. Struggling here. Kurobachi, good to see ya. Hopefully you're doing well. We're crunching numbers today, just a little bit. We're trying to get an under 25-year-old in our gym. They are sorely underrepresented despite my best efforts to swing things towards them. Yeah, I think we need to play around with the numbers just a little bit more. I'm not seeing anyone younger than 26. 26 is as low as I've seen it. Actually, I know exactly why it's the lowest we've seen it. It's because I've got freaking seeds running. So let's disable seeds and run again. So we got 27-year-olds. We got 51-year-old, 27-year-old. Yeah, just getting people that are younger than 25 is just proven to be really difficult to play around the numbers. We've got a 22-year-old and a 21-year-old in the same group. Interesting. But yes, we're currently trying to come up with a generator for the ages of the people attending. We've got a 22-year-old there. We've got a 19-year-old, our first younger than 20 actually there. That's interesting. Maybe let's play around a little bit more with the tester for distribution test. Yeah, it really feels like they should be a little bit more common. Like, considering we're... Ooh, now that's interesting. What we could do is if they're under 19, or rather if they're under 18, then we just put them in another role. Which, yeah, I think if they're younger, yeah, let's make this a bit more complicated. We're going to be flubbing this. But it's also going to be slightly more simple. So we generate the result. If they are under 19 or over 120, we just get a random number. Yeah, we're doing the thing where we say, oh yeah, no, she's not 12 years old, she's actually 200. No, we're not quite doing that. So if result is less than 18 or over 120, then it'll be a random number between 18 and 25. Result equals random dot choice 18, 19, 20, 21. Oh wait, random dot choice. Oh, we can just do range. What am I doing? Range 18, 25. There we go. And we'll return it as an integer as well. So, same old distribution. But now if we go to the distribution test, we go to the owner age test. We got 20, 22, 25. Younger cohorts are going to be a bit more random dot choice. Okay, apparently we got one wrong. Random dot choice. Oh, right. I made it a list instead of what it should have been, which is not a list. This should be braces. Lovely. Run it again. So we've got 27, 22, 22, 19. Let's see, 29, 26, 23. Very low number there. 24, 21. Okay, we're getting a few more younger ages, which is good. 24, 23, 19. Right, okay, this is a decent way of making sure that we've got more younger people, which feels somewhat more interesting for the sake of the game. I'm gonna say maybe it's my bias. Maybe I'm just biased towards younger people. But then again, to be fair, we are actually aging up the people who are younger than 18 to fill in these age categories. So I think it's not unreasonable. I don't think it's unreasonable at all. Okay. I'm happy with this distribution. I'm very happy with this distribution. I like this. This makes sense. This makes sense to me. So, right, we can get rid of that. We've got the mu sigma here. I might set these as parameters. So, mu is that. Sigma equals that, just in case we do want to specify different values elsewhere. That'll make that a bit more interesting. Okay, so set color is completely fine. We'll maybe set this to actually return a tuple, which would be very good, so that we can actually extract the color value out of it, but we'll play around with that later. We've got the styles, we've got those. The freshness distribution. Right, freshness distribution. That is also going to be one of these fun distributions. So we're still going to be using our distribution test for this, because distribution test is going to be incredibly valuable. If we can do this, we get the maths out of the way. So this is going to be final result for ages, with accommodations for outlier ages, which is fine. So we need to find a new mu sigma. So we want to find, first of all, let's set mu to 0 and we'll set this to 1. And let's run the distribution test. Distribution test is set, isn't it? Yes, it is. Good. Right, let's have a little look. Right, so starting as is, the peak is about 0.25-ish. So we want to be generating numbers roughly between 1 and 100, and I think the easiest way to achieve that is to play around with the sigma value. So I think if we go to like 0.4, that's kind of a good starting point. No, it just plays around with that value, so that's fine. Let's just set that back to 1. For this, do we want this to be like 3? Something like that? Okay, 3 is too much. Go 2.5. I mean, that sigma is quite sharp. Okay, that's kind of interesting. What do you think? So on average, like if we're talking about, I need some input here because I'm kind of struggling on this one. On average, what would you say the stinky value of a pair of shoes you would find in a gym locker would be? Do you think they would trend stinkier? Or do you think like they'd be wearing their stinky shoes in the gym and then the shoes that aren't in the gym wouldn't be so stinky? I mean, you say vary, but like that's the it depends on whether it's ooh, now there's a thought. We could do double lobed. So like we could have a distribution, right? Where there's a peak at the low values of stinky and we've got a peak at the high values of stinky. Maybe, that's kind of interesting. Could do a 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of distribution. That could be interesting, like a double lobed kind of dealio. Or maybe we just make it a normal distribution, like somewhere around the middle. Maybe slightly biased in one direction or the other. We could do. Let's try not having it. I'm thinking let's maybe have it as a normal distribution. Yeah. So. So you want random normal? Can't do a normal distribution, right? Oh. So for our normal distribution, location, scale size. So we've got a float, we've got the center of the distribution, and then we've got the scale. So I think we want location to be 50, 50, 100, right? Scale. Maybe just a normal distribution, so everything's like somewhat stinky. But then, I don't know, we want there to be a chance of getting some like really unstinky shoes. Although I did have an idea earlier on today, because it wouldn't actually cost too much to say, okay, you get to use this one item, like, you know, a de-stinky spray, and it reduces the stinkiness of a shoe, so people are more likely to buy it. Perhaps. That's not good. Well, it's certainly a distribution. But yeah, we don't want to be using this PDF function for this. I mean, it's fine if we do. It just complains because it's an invalid value, but that's fine. I think we want the scale to be 100. Location to be at 50. And the size being 10,000. Ah, but then it still goes into the negative, doesn't it? Based on normal distribution. 0, 1, and then size. Okay. Okay. Let's move the location to 50. Then the size, let's move to... Let's see, that's like 3-ish, call it 4, like 25 maybe? Then we'll binary search from there. Bit lower. Go to 20. That's not terrible. Set it to 25. We can offset this a bit as well, because I think more or less the shoes should be fairly fresh, but with a chance of being like really unfresh. Yeah, I'm getting a bit of an idea here. I think that broadly this should be fairly fresh. So let's put this at... I'm going to put this at 67. Which gives us this. Ignore the red line, by the way. We don't need the red line. Put this at 67 for freshness. 67. Wait, okay, is 67 a meme number, or do you just want the other meme number? Because I can do the other meme number. Nothing's stopping me from putting in the other meme number. We're gonna do the other meme number because I feel like it. We're doing 69 because, of course, Gen Alpha meme. Is it really? Right. Okay. Why is 67 a meme number? Oh wait, is it a 6 afraid of 7 joke? Is it a 789 joke? Oh, it's not? Oh, okay. Apparently I'm just old. What's 6 plus 7? 6 and 7. Internet meme. It has no fixed meaning. This is helpful. Okay, right. I feel incredibly old. My skin is starting to crack, and I'm starting to crumble into dust live on stream. Yeah. A related meme 41 is from 41 Song, Sax Freestyle by Blizzy Boy. I mean, it feels more like, I don't know, it feels like it should be related to 42, but then that's Douglas Adams, and that's, oh god. I mean, 23 Skidoo makes a degree of sense, but still. It's here in the C also. Early 20th century American slang. I've used it once or twice, actually. Dear, okay, well, before I get old, let's go back to enjoying mathematics, shall we? Right. You know what? We'll do 67, and we'll call it a joke. We'll do 67, and we'll call it a joke. Right, okay, sure. So what we're gonna do for this one is if the value is greater than 100 so this is the freshness scale. If the value of freshness is greater than 100, then re-roll. But if the value of freshness is less than 0, set it to 0. We're gonna have a huge, well, relatively huge spike at 0 is the plan. Okay, I like the idea of that. So we're just going to use this for the values instead. That's fine. Size we can remove because we don't care about the size, so that's fine. So we're doing set freshness. So value is going to be a random value from here. This is the original. We'll just hold on to that because why not? If val is greater than 100. Oh wait. Val. So val equals 0. If val is less than 0, or rather, while val is greater than 100, we roll. So we're going to start with this at 200 just to make it like really high. Then we set the val to the random value. If val is less than 0, then val equals 0. And then we return val, which is fine. Alright. Returns random. Oh, and we'll use lock and scale. Lock scale. Pause. We want this to be a little bit reusable. Lock scale. So if value is greater, then we re-roll. And when it's lower, if the value is less than 0, we return 0. Returns random value in normal distribution with center lock and scale. Values greater than 100 are re-rolled. Values less than 0 are set to 0. Sounds good to me. I do have a double random here, and I don't need a double random. Good night and happy mathing. I will have one. Thank you so much, Nucleus. You take care, be good to yourself, rest well. Hopefully we'll catch you again sometime. Okay, so that's the freshness value. What about the shoe quality? What about the shoe quality? What do we expect for the shoe quality? I think we can probably use the same function for the shoe quality, although I would like it to be slightly different. Just so that we're not seeing like exactly the same numbers coming out of both functions. So we're gonna copy paste this. So this is final settings for shoe freshness. I kind of feel like the quality of the shoes that you find will be a bit lower, but I think we can actually just inverse the process here for this. So this distribution test is going to be specifically for the other one. Oh, hold on. I should do another test just for the freshness. Yeah, we'll do a freshness test as well. Print set freshness, lock and scale are fine. for whatever in range 10. And forgot the semicolon. Freshness test. Run it. Right, so we're getting freshness. Oh, I forgot. I should be returning them as an integer as well. So the freshness. Where's the freshness? There's the freshness. So we are getting, in terms of freshness, 96, 74, 49, 42, 45, 43, 41, 34, 76, 80. Interesting. No extremes. Still no extremes. Like 100 should be rare, but there should be a reasonable chance of getting a 0. Yeah, there we go. Slightly outsized chance of getting a 0. Which is interesting, actually. If anything, I feel like zeros should be more common. Maybe I should, like, increase the variance a bit. Maybe I should. Actually, I think I might. Just so that zeros become a bit more common. Because I like the idea of, like, you getting a lot of, like, really fecking stinky shoes. Yeah, I like that idea. I like that idea a lot, actually. Not the idea of stinky shoes, just the idea of there being many of them. So yeah, we need to change the lock and scale values. So lock and scale is fine there. Let's set scale to 40 maybe and see what that looks like. Distribution test. Don't need the freshness test on. Run. Well, I mean, I suppose I could leave it on as well. So yeah, that would be a much larger spike at 0, significantly more rerolls. I think that's kind of interesting. So we just have to set it to 40 now. Actually, I'm going to leave both of them on because I can test both at the same time. Why not? There's the freshness test, so we're going to set this to 40. Run it. How many zeros do we get now? It seems to have struggled for some reason. Runtime warning. Right, we're getting... Oh, it's because we're getting negative numbers. Okay, that didn't return a 0. So only actually prints... Okay, we've got 2 zeros there. Okay, that feels... like I probably want like 1 0 pair. Maybe I'll up it to 50. Because like the rest of the distribution broadly flattens as a result. Considering the scale effects. So yeah, it'll look a bit more like that. A bit of a hump towards better values, but more frequent zeros. So there's a bit more randomness going on there. I think that's a fairly reasonable compromise. Fairly reasonable. Or I could just invert it. I could invert it and then set it so that like some shoes that you get your hands on are 100%, but they're rarer. Maybe. I mean, let's not touch freshness just yet. We'll leave that as it is. Where's the distribution test? So we'll set this to 33. Scale was originally at 30, wasn't it? Let's have a look at this. So yeah, that would be... maybe we do go to 40. So So yeah, that's a spike at that, but pretty low. That would be a huge spike at 0. It's probably like 20% of them would be 0s. Or super stinky shoes. I don't know. I do not know. I do like the idea of there being a decent chance of getting 100, so yeah, let's try that. We'll try it. 33, scale 50. Scale 50? If values less than 0, so this value needs to be minus 100 or whatever. Then if value is greater than 100, it goes to 100. Oh, not 1000. That's bad. 3350. Yeah, give this a shot. So that now gives us this distribution. And now we're all getting 100s because of course we are. If value is... Oh, value needs to be greater than 100. That's what we got wrong there. So there we are. So we're getting a couple of 100s. Ah, but maybe 100s are too common here. Yeah, we're getting like 2 100s pair. So I'm gonna go down to 40. Got a 0 there. Maybe we make it if value is less than 0, val equals 0. So it just depends on how much trash we're willing to accept. Gonna copy this, put this here. So now we got a couple of 0s, no 100s. I just turn off that test. We got a 100 and we got a couple of 0s. 2 0s, no 100. So 0s are definitely more uncommon than 100s. There's 2 of them in there though. Like, you are going to get a couple of 100s hidden in there. Or am I just I might just be overthinking things. I'm probably overthinking things. I'm gonna leave it like this. Values. Values. Values out with the range 0 to 100 are set to the max. Are set to the closest value. Okay, I think I can work with that. So that's our freshness calculation. I think we do the inverse for the health. is what I think we do. So for the condition, we do pretty much exactly the same. Except for the fact that we are reversing it. So this is going to be 67, scale's 40. If the value is... yeah, that's all the same. Then we can remove that. Then we can remove this. We can remove this to do. And that's condition. Right, okay, so let's do a condition test. Set condition. We don't care about the distribution test anymore. We just care about the condition test. Run it. Let's see what we get. So we got a few in pretty good condition, which is nice. We get some that are in really low condition. Yeah, okay, so for these, condition is higher than smelliness. Because some people do take their shoes very seriously. Some people take their shoes very seriously. Which is interesting. Right. Okay. Okay. We're mostly doing mathsy stuff today, it seems. But I'm quite happy with this. This is kind of interesting. We are making very valuable shoes difficult to get your hands on, is the thing. For value tests, I'm pretty sure we were just coming up with a value, weren't we? So I'm inclined to say, yeah, keep the tier thing in for now, but let's reimagine this calculation very slightly. So value is going to be 10,000, because why not, times scale, which we'll kind of keep in there for now. That's probably fine. Tiers being passed a value test, that's fine. So I'm having a bit of a thought. Or rather, I was having a bit of a thought yesterday, after yesterday's stream. We've also only been going for an hour 20, so I think I'll be done for too long. I think the value should be proportional to the square of age, but with an offset. So let's see. I'm gonna do individual factors. So age factor is gonna be oh wait, shoe age. I forgot about shoe age. We need to do shoe age. We've got owner age, but shoe age is gonna be different. Also this is in terms of years, which is fine. That's completely fine. That can be separate from shoe age. Yeah, we need a better thing for shoe age. We need a much better calculation for shoe age. So what do we want shoe age to be? I'm just going to comment that out for now. Shoe age. How do you want it to be distributed? It's going to trend lower, and we're going to value it in terms of months. So we're going to want the distribution test to be up and running again. And then we're going to want to do shoe age test. Shoe age test. Print set shoe age for underscore and range 10. Lovely. Okay, so we've got shoe age test. And run there. We've got value test, we've got shoe gen test, shoe age test needs to be defined. No, it's been defined, we're just running set shoe age. We've got distribution test up and running. Distribution test, I'm actually gonna remove most of this. So we just need to plot the X variable. And then this section here we can just comment out as well. That's probably fine. Okay. So I'm inclined to use the log normal function again for this. So uncomment that, comment that. Let's go back. We're going to reset the scales. So that's 0 and 1 for mu sigma. Let's run this. That's linear. Why is that linear? It should not be linear. Values is there. And it gives me a bunch of random numbers. Right, that's kind of annoying, but doesn't matter. Yeah, we're going log normal again. So that's the average of 0, sigma of 1. Vowels is there. Vowels goes into histogram with 120 bins. Do we want 120 bins? I don't know how many bins we want now. Because in terms of shoe age, you can get some shoes that are rather old. That would be 10 years. I'm going to go up to 50. 50 months. So, or 50 years worth. So that's 600 bins. Run it. And then we get this for some reason. I'm plotting X. Right, okay, so it's not X that I want to plot, it's the vowels. No, it's not the vowels, sorry. I'm doing something wrong. Plot, X values, X, numpy, lin space, evenly spaced numbers over a specified interval. Should be X, right? Should it not be? Why is it linear? If I got my numbers wrong the wrong way. Also, this should be bars, right? Oh wait, no, that's what we're doing. We've got the histogram. Right, okay, that's fine. Right, if I remove that, that's no work. Am I dumb? I'm not dumb. Wonderful. Okay, we just don't get the nice... Wait, why am I turning this off? We can use this. We can use this now because we're using the log normal. There we go. That's much better. Okay, now we've got something to work with. So we want it to go up to roughly 600. We're at 200 now. Let's go to 0.5. See what this looks like. This needs to go up to like, not 10, put it up to 5. That takes us, okay, that's pretty good. That takes us up to 600. Although most shoes aren't that old. Most shoes are going to be relatively young. So we do want to set this quite a bit higher, I think. So yeah, the peak over here, if we just zoom in on that, The peak here is 55 months, which to be honest is quite old for a pair of shoes. Quite old for a pair of shoes, actually. 55 months is quite old. I think most pairs of shoes only go to like 2 years old or something like that. Like, how often do people change their shoes? So definitely a bit more variance on that. Let's put this to 0.5. Oh wait, no, less variance. We want it to be narrower. Oh, okay. Well. I don't know what happened to my histogram. That's interesting. Oh right, maybe I just did it wrong, didn't I? Yeah, I did it wrong. The variance is way off the charts. Yeah, 117 months. That's nearly 10-year-old shoes. I'm gonna set it to 1.5 and let's do a binary search from here. Oh my goodness me. Okay, let's... Forgetting that these are co-moving, let's just play around with the sigma until we find something we like first. 1.5, set it to 2. Two becomes super duper sharp. Okay, so maybe we just want like 1. And this is months. 1.1. Let's go slower. Let's go much slower. 1.25. And we'll make the variance 0.1 as well, just so that it spreads out a bit faster. Go to 0.5. That's interesting. Let's try 1 on the average. We can definitely go higher than this. So let's go to 1.3. Am I being too careful? I don't think I am. Set this to 2. I'm getting a little bit more of a sense for it. A little bit more. That peak is at 1. I think I'm overthinking this. I mean, I'm definitely overthinking this. To be fair, overthinking is kind of my brand at this point. That's 2 months. Yeah, yeah. Lower variance by a bit. Go to 0.8. This is going to be quite a bit further out. Oh, okay, this looks much better. This is starting to look much better. This is starting to look a lot better. Go to 4. That's peaking at 24, which is roughly what I would expect. More or less. I'm getting a bit interested here. And then we're getting some... I just zoom in over here. That is 518 months. Which, what is that? That's less than 5. What's that? Less than. What's that? That's a good amount of time, actually. Keep in mind that we're drawing. Actually, how many are we drawing here? We are drawing 100,000. So 520 months. That's less than 50. Okay, that's the best I can do. In my head is not working. 520 divided by 12. Yeah, that's like 43 years. That's 43 years. Is what that is. Okay, this is kind of promising. That's kind of and we've got some that are super duper old. Like the vast majority of them, like the peak of them here is, I mean, to be fair, that is that's less than 3 years old. I think we just tighten the variance just a little bit more. So let's go up to 8.5. Or maybe it's the average that I should change. That's around, I don't know what that's around. It's around 2 years for the peak. Couple of options over 120 odds, but the vast majority of them are less than 10 years old. I mean, you might get some people who've got like over 10-year-old shoes. You might. Like 5 years is there. And to be fair, considering all the different kinds of shoes we're going to be getting, they're not all gym shoes. There's also all kinds of fancy shoes. I think this is kind of reasonable. Like, it's not sensical, to be entirely honest, but I'm going to go for it. I'm loving the different ranges that I can get out of this, to be honest. Like, same function, completely different values. Same function, completely different values. Which is just really, really cool to me. It really is. So yeah, this will just return a random value. These are not condition-based, these are age-based. So returns random value in log normal distribution with mean mu and standard deviation sigma. Sigma balls! There's a joke in there somewhere, but I'm too lazy to figure it out. So yeah, it's a result, log normal. The good news is we can just drop this straight in. And we're entirely happy. So just return this value. So that returns the shoe age. And then we need to work out the calculation for it as well. So that sets the shoe age. We are already set to be doing shoe age test. So I'm just going to disable the distribution test. And we'll run the age test. So give this a bash. Oh yeah, it needs to return as an int. Int is kind of handy. So this is months we're looking at. So the shoe age is in months. Age in months. Percentage, right, that's fine. And I forgot to set it to be an integer. I do a numpy integer. No. I mean, there will be a way to, but I ain't doing it. Right. 26 months, 18 months, 168 months, 114 months, 32 months, 15 months. 135 months, 63 months, 9 months, 45 months. Okay, that's fun. I'm gonna change the show age test. And I can't change this very easily. There's a way to do it, just so that I could have more options. Can I use a walrus decorator inside one of these? That'd be nice. I can. Then I can do x factorial 20. I'm gonna use an F string here as well. I wonder if I can. That'd be very nice if I could. It doesn't like the assignment in here, which is then X. Yeah, it's not letting me make this assignment, which is annoying. That sucks. But it would let me do it outside of an F string, so I suppose I can do that. Just accept that I can't use an F string, which is sad. Sad for me. And then X. Oh wait. X double over 12 gives us a modulus or whichever. I forget the order. So then we want this to be months dash dash however many years however many months. Right, that I think will work. It did! Lovely! Okay, so here we go. This is the shoe age distribution going on here. 6 years, 3 months, 6 years, no months, 4 years, no months, 4 years, 8 months, 12 years exactly, 1 year exactly, 4 years exactly, 11 years, 2 months, 5 years, 5 years. Okay. One that's 50 years old, one that's 4 years, one that's 2 years. Right, we're not seeing that many. Okay, we've got one at 5 months. Actually, yeah, it feels like it should be quite a bit lower. Does feel like it should be quite a bit lower. Like, this is why it's good having the test, just so we can get a sense for how old these fecking shoes are. Just because the peaks at 2 months, 2 years doesn't mean that it's doing quite what we want it to. So let's turn on the distribution test again. And we'll test it a little more. I think the problem is the variance might be a bit too high. So yeah, I might wanna make that around 12. So I'm gonna try setting this to 1, the sigma to 1 for now. I'm gonna copy this and paste it in again. So we're gonna set this to 1. We'll see what that does. It causes massive problems. I mean, the variance goes down, but the upper limit goes up to freaking 100 years, which is unreasonable. So let's set that to 2. So now it can go up to over 10 years, but now this is only at 1.3. So maybe let's try putting that to 0.85. Still too low. Put that to 3 then. That peaks at 6 months now, which is too low. 3.5. It might just be a subtle change like that. Might be what we need. So that peaks just a little bit over. Let's put it down to 3.4, 0.85 sigma. Peaks at 12 months. Very few options over 10 years. We might be onto something here. So 3.4, right, so just a change in the average. That's quite interesting, actually. So 3.4. That's all the way up here, so 3.4. And run. Let me see what we get. So now we're going to, yeah, shoes over a year old. Some shoes that are 5, 2, 3, 1 year old. Not as many under 1 year as I was anticipating. So we could go a little bit narrower. We've got a couple, like one pair is like 3 months old. Couple that are under a year old. I think most people just wear things that are like a year old. Maybe we should like lower the average a bit more. I'm gonna drop it in the, where is it? Yeah, the distribution test. Let's go down to just 3.0. Let's see what it looks like. Maybe a bit too low. I mean, 8 months. It's 8 months, but then the oldest ones here are less than 200 months. Maybe we can make like a small change, like 3.1. Maybe play around with the sigma value as well. 10 months. Yeah, the average is still too high. I really wish there was an easier way to show you what the average was going to be on this function. That'd be handy. Even though that is supposedly the average, but it's not the average. Let's try changing the sigma value to 0.5. That is significantly worse. Change it to 1. One's interesting. Actually, that's still quite interesting. So the peak's at 8 months, but there's a much longer tail. I'd like it if this tail was a bit shorter, so 1.2. I mean, I don't mind a long tail, it's just I don't want things to be like excessive. That's interesting. Peaking at 5 months. But yeah, the tail is just so long, but that's 2 years. I think it's just a scaling issue rather than anything else. Because yeah, considering this is going all the way up until like 1600. It's quite a large tail even at 100. Which is quite large. I think I'm just looking at this way too much. I think I really am. I do not understand shoes. I have a very odd relationship with shoes. To be entirely honest with you. Usually wear out quite quickly for me. Even good ones. Like I got a really good pair of Doc Martens and are really wearing out. Maybe we reduce that. I think... yeah, we don't need to go crazy. Like a 20-year-old fancy pair of shoes is interesting. But I do like the idea of like coming across like a really good condition pair of shoes that are like 50 years old, but like they would never, they've never been there. This is maybe not too bad. Goes out to a bit over 20 years, like 21 years. Most are still within the first 2 years. 0.3 and 8, 0.3.8 is not bad. Yeah, we'll try that. So not owner age, it's shoe age. So it's 3.8. Close that. So we're getting a couple more younger pairs of shoes. 3 months, 8 months, 1 year, 6 months. Most are less than 3 years, one's 4 years. That's a bit more reasonable, I think. And it still does give us the option to get some really old pairs of shoes. We've got one at like 6 years, 11 months. You never do know, they could be surprisingly valuable, all things considered. I don't know, my calculations are just going to be so weird. People are just going to be like, Mel, this makes no sense. Why do shoes have increasing value if they get really old, if they're in good condition? I don't know, man. I don't know. There we go, 9 years old, anomalously old. 9 years old. That's a pretty old pair of shoes. 8 years old. Yeah, okay, so we're getting the odd really old pair of shoes. Roughly like 1 for every 10 is like over 5 years old. Roughly speaking. Maybe a bit less. That was an 8-year-old. There's a couple of 5-year-old ones. 12 years old. Okay, yeah, no, this is fun. This is fun. There's a chance that that last one's going to be really valuable. Okay, I'm happy with the ages now. Kinda happy with the ages. In months. That's fine. Now, we're going on to the cost. Cost. Where's cost? That's distribution test, value test. There we go. So age factor. As I was saying like 20 minutes ago when I was saying, yeah, we'll be done with this fairly soon. Yeah, age is going to be kind of fun. So I think as a shoe gets to around, I'm going to say like 6 years old, I want that to be where its cost bottoms out. Like, no one's interested in a 5-year-old shoe, no matter how good it is for the most part. Things are out of fashion, technology's advanced, people are on to newer and more exciting things. But then past that point of being around 5-6 years old, they start appreciating in value again because people are like, ooh, this is retro, ooh, this is a fancy design, kind of thing. That's the thought. That's the weird thought going on in my head. So, where's my notes? Right, so we want the age factor, which is just like an arbitrary value. So roughly at the region of like 60 months, we want it to bottom out. So it's going to be proportional to... Where's age, by the way? Cond.age times cond.age is the initial part, plus, so it's proportional to a squared, plus some value, which I'm going to set just now at 60, times cond.age, and then plus some other value, and this is going to be like the minimum value that it's going to be set to. We will also have to normalize this value, so it's going to be within certain range. So there needs to be a constant here. 60 is the age factor that goes over. We also need to up it up to a certain value. I'm gonna plus 15, and that 15 is gonna be a percentage of value. So it can never go below 15% of its initial value. Is that accurate? So if age is 0, then the value needs to be 100. If age is 0, the value is equal to 100. If there's a turning point at some value, 60 over 100 or something. Yeah. So the value when condition.age, wait, is it 60? Is that 60? Or am I getting something wrong? Is it minus? It is minus 60. Times condition age. So that's fun. Very fun. Can I make a nice easy print for this? I probably can. Copy this. Yeah, just make it arbitrary, this is fine. So paste that there. Where was bins set up here? Bins was out here, but I was at a histogram. So we can just make that 120-ish. Make it like 150, no 120. Make it like make it 300. Bins is 300. 300. 300. Why are you complaining? Expected iterable. Got an int. Why is that a thing? Bins is an ND array, which comes out of plot hist. Ah, you know what, whatever. I'll do this, because why not? Hist vals. Vals equals range 300. Which is fine. We don't care about the PDF because its value is actually set by the age factor. Wait, hold on. PDF is number whatever, numpy log, muse, just a sound. What's mu in this? Mu and sigma are both just constants. Numpy log x mu. Ah, x does come into it. So it does care about this linear space for the x coordinate. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. I can work with that. Oakley dokley. We've got x there. So then instead of that, we want this to be cond age. So hold that in just now because we're testing something else just now. Okay. So we don't want any of this. PDF equals. We'll set this to be age. And then everywhere there's a cond age here, we just take out the cond and then it just becomes age. Then we're plotting age and the PDF. Except not PDF, it's value. Rather age factor. Age factor. Right, okay. So then we're plotting, and we're doing the thing, and we're printing a value for some reason. So that's in show age test. This is going to be in value test. Value test. Do I not have a value test? What the hell? I don't have a value test. Right, we can run a value test now. That's fine. Oh, and it needs a tier. Right, we'll just make this tier 1. That's fine. Oh yeah, we did the value test, but it was in the 10 pool test, so that's why that doesn't exist on its own. Int object is non-iterable. All right, that's fine. So this needs to be bins. Yeah. That's fine. And then this can be 300, I think. Right, show me something nice. It didn't show me anything. That's helpful. Alright, because I have to actually do plot show. That's fine. There we go. Okay, okay, value goes pretty high pretty fast. Pretty excessively fast, actually. That A squared's pretty strong. So we need to tamper that down just a couple of order of magnitudes. So the question is, when something gets to an extreme value, do we what factor do we want the value to go up by? Because I don't think after 10 years we want the value to go up by a factor of 10. Or like 100 times higher. We do need a constant in here. So then this is going to be we're going to need to use some kind of multipliers, which is going to be, we're going to do like 0.01 initially, and then that's just going to apply here. So it's going to be mult times age squared minus 60 times age plus 100. And this should... Okay, then it's dominated by... Yeah, then it's dominated by the age aspect, which is the 60 minus the minus 60 age, which is a bit extreme. Maybe that's just too strong. Increase it by a factor of 10. Then it's still pretty dominant, but we can work with that. Make it 0.5. That's somewhat more reasonable. Make it 0.25. That's... I mean, like... Yeah, we're gonna have to tune this. Which is annoying. It's a bit annoying. It's very annoying that they're co-moving as well. So... I mean, I can figure out what I want it to do is the thing. So it starts at 100. We want it to go down to 83. I need more maths. That's the problem here. I don't have enough maths. So let's see. Age equals 0. Then it has a value of 100 because this is just a factor. This is just a factor. When age equals 60, then we want it to have a value of 85. Or not 85, we want to have a value of 15. I can never go below 15%. So... that's okay. Like, that we can set. It's a turning point we're trying to figure out here, and this is where I unfortunately have to resort to pen and paper, because I'm not an expert at finding. I mean, finding roots. There is a maths package that does it, but I'm not gonna bother looking that up because it's a slight distraction from what I'm really trying to do. So it's ma squared minus na plus 100. We're looking for where it's equal to 0. So ma minus wait, hold on, I'm doing this wrong. So ma squared minus na equals negative 100. So ma minus n equals negative 100. So either a is equal to negative 100, is that right? Oh, am I doing it wrong? It should be minus 100, right? Then that goes to positive 100, positive 100. So when a is equal to... No, when a is equal to 100... No, I don't want it to be 100. Hell? Oh no, that's looking for the roots. There are no roots of this equation. Man, my math skills are terrible. My math skills are so bad. Differentiate 2ma minus n is equal to 0. Man, I'm forgetting my maths. This is embarrassing. So when A is equal to 60, that's 120 m minus n is equal to 0. N is 120 m. Or n over 120. So let's solve in terms of n. So then ma squared minus na minus 100 is then going to be n over 120 a squared minus n a minus 100 is equal to 0. So common factors n a over 120 minus a equals 100. But then a can be equal to 0. So am I doing this even right at all? I think I'm doing this entirely wrong. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh my god, why am I so bad at maths? Ugh, it's been too long. It's been too long since I've done this relatively basic maths. Being bad at maths couldn't be me. No, I'm supposed to be good at maths. I like maths. I'm good. I like maths. Maths is fun. But yeah, so I'm gonna draw a graph. So that should be 100. The turning point's at 15. And then it goes up past there. And that's at 60. 15. So then ma squared, rather 2ma. Oh wait, no, sorry, I'm doing it wrong. 2ma minus n equals 0 when a equals 60. No, we did that already. We did that already and it ended up making no sense. Or did it? No, wait, no, it's not. It's not making sense. Because a is still 60, so na a over 120 minus a. So what's that? So minus 119 a over 120 and a is 100, it's 100. A we've just established is 60, so oh, my brain's not working. I can't solve a basic equation. This is shameful. This is shameful. This is actually embarrassing. I'm actually embarrassed. But yeah, no, my brain is slightly cooking. I should drink more water. I'm trying to find this equation. I know it's positive before and after, so it's definitely e squared. The turning point is at 60-15. And it crosses the y-axis at 0, 100. That's enough to be able to solve an equation. That is enough to solve an equation. I know it is. I think I'm doing this wrong. I feel like I'm forgetting some very basic stuff. There's some very basic stuff here that I'm just failing to remember. Or am I like half remembering? See, this is my problem. I get distracted with maths. But if I can do this, I'll be happy. I want to be happy. I want to be happy. See, this is basically the shape that I want, but I want this down here to be 120 along, and it's not. Wait, no, that's 120. That's 120 along, so that's 10 years. So I want it to be like 5 years. So wait, why don't I just brute force this? Why don't I just brute force this? That's at minus 60. What if I do it at minus 30? Yeah, let's do some brute force. What could possibly go wrong with some brute force? Okay, looks like the turning point's roughly around 60 there. The scale's a bit off though, isn't it? Just a couple of orders of magnitude off. I want to squash this. The way we do that is by suppressing factors. And that's through the mults. But then if I do this, it's going to be completely... Yeah, it's dominated over there. See, that's the problem. M and N are correlated, and that's what I was looking at before. So... trying to solve this. ME minus NE. Or is it plus NE? It could be plus, and I'm just getting this wrong. What happens if we make this plus? And then reset that. Just for the sake of argument. Yeah, that's too high. It does need to be minus to have the behavior that I want, so I was right. And does minus mean it crosses the axis? Because I don't want it to cross the axis. I don't want this to have roots. It should not have roots, or rather the roots should be complex. And this clearly crosses the axis. I'm going to increase the range just so that I can see a bit more clearly what's going on. Right, that's helpful. So if I now set this to being positive, yeah, we're going to basic maths here because my brain doesn't work. So then that does cross the axis. It's just... Oh, right, it just flips around which side it's on. So we do want this to be negative. Which is exactly the same thing, it just flips it around to being the other side of the y-axis, so that's fine. It has the reversal at the position that I want. It's just choosing the values of the variables. So there needs to be some... Yeah. This value right here is also dependent on this value here, broadly. They need to be co-moving. So I am right, they need to be related to each other. But then they also need to end up producing the same result. Oh wait, that's plus 100 as well. Hold on, should that be minus 100? I think so. That's still lower. Because yeah, this should always be higher. So I do need to be careful about the choice of the values, so that's fine. So the actual equation that we're working with is... Right, start again. ma squared minus na minus 100. Is the calculation that I want to do. So I want to find the point at which it flips. And that's where the derivative equals 0. So 2ma minus n equals 0. We've already solved. Where's 2ma minus 1 equals 0? Minus n equals 0. So that's m equals n over 120 because we know that a is equal to 60. Which is this turning point here. Right, okay. So we know m is n over 120. Or rather, n equals 120 m. Let's try solving in terms of m this time. So ma squared minus... we're replacing an n with 120m. Minus 100, and we want to set that to be equal to 0. And now, oh, that's so much easier. What the feck am I thinking? This is so much easier. So now we want to solve for m. So ma squared minus 120m equals 100, which means 120 am. So now we can take out the am. A minus 120 equals 100. So either AM equals 100 or A minus 120 equals 100. Which means A is going to be equal to 240. That might make sense. I think that makes sense. So then 240 M equals 100. So M equals 100 over 240, which is 10 over 24, which is 5 over 12, 5/12. Then we solve for N, because N is 120M, which is 120 times 5 over 12, which is 10 times 5, which is 50. Okay. M is 5 over 12, N is 50. So 5 over 12. Nof is going to be 50. Is my math correct? Am I an idiot? Let's find out. I'm an idiot. I mean, we knew that. Why did this not work? I think part of the problem is that the scale is arbitrary. I think. Because yeah, it's the number of. And what's this doing? I don't know what this is doing. So we just want to plot. Oh, right, hold on. Don't we just want to plot the age factor? So we'll take out the age here. We're just plotting age factor. Hold on. No, we do want to plot the age as well. Okay. What did I do wrong? What am I doing wrong? Why has this equation got roots? This equation shouldn't have roots. Why does this equation have roots? Gotta run. Good luck with the maths. I'm gonna need it, TV. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. You take care. I am really bad at maths. Is what I'm learning. I used to be so happy. I used to be so happy and confident. This should be much lower. This should be much lower. What the hell? Is it this? Is it the number of bins we've got here? Wait, lin space. Wait, hold on. Lin space. Calculated over the interval start, stop. Start, stop, num. Evenly spaced numbers over the interval. Right, maybe, is it this? It's a problem? I think this is the problem. Hold on. I think I need 600 here. Am I just dumb? I might just be dumb. Because it feels like this is a scale issue, and this might be it. No. No. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? I'm doing something wrong. I'm also way overthinking things. Is there a line to plot? There's a line to plot histograms. This is going so bad. Plot X and PDF. X is the lin space with however many entries. $50,000. 50,000. Okay, that's not changing. Men of bins. The bins is an indie array. We should make it vowels. Am I just completely dumb? I might just be completely dumb. That's totally valid. Why is this going up so extremely? I mean, granted, we don't care about what happens below 0, so let's remove this section because that doesn't matter. It's how exponential it gets. Maybe I want to stop. Maybe we just stop. Wait, have I actually done it? Am I just thinking way too hard? I think I might just be thinking way too hard. It's just a scale issue, isn't it? Why does this go negative though? It shouldn't go negative. That's why I've got you, right? You should be making it positive. If I make you positive, the plus 100, that should shift it even further down, right? Am I dumb? Maybe dumb. Oh yeah, the scale's just way off. Scale's way off. Am I just gonna have to look up basic maths? I think I'm just gonna have to look up basic maths. I'm ashamed of myself. Man, I've not made the progress that I'd hoped I would have today. I'd hoped I'd gotten a bit further here with something a bit more different. Right, okay, this has been frustrating. This is not the lesson that I wanted to be ending today off with, but the lesson is I'm terrible at maths and I definitely shouldn't be doing it on stream. Problem is I keep running into the issue, so I can't do it on stream. Well, I can't do it off stream, so... I wonder if I just remove this section entirely. Crosses the axis at 0. I shall make it positive. Crosses the axis at 100, okay. but it should go no lower. It should go no lower than 15. I've got it set so it goes no lower than 15, right? What is the turning point? Turning point is 60, but it's at negative 1400. Why would it be negative 1400 as a turning point? Nothing in this says it should be negative 1400. That's not this equation. I think there's a problem. There's a problem somewhere and I don't know what it is. I'm going to do a Google search for a graph. Let's see. Equation. Oh, Wolfram Alpha. Wolfram Alpha. You can help me. You won't betray me, right? So I'm just gonna put the equation in as we found it. So (5 over 12) times a squared minus 50a plus 100. Okay, that is what it looks like. Feck me. Why is the turning point so low? That's so annoying. That's so annoying. That's so annoying. So ma squared minus n plus 100. Let's see what this gives me. It does come with integer roots. Have I just got this completely wrong? Maybe it's plus 5 over 12 rather, times 50 plus 100. No, that literally just flips it there. Right, okay, I'm doing this wrong and I've just realized why I'm doing it wrong. Ma squared minus na minus 100 equals 0. Sure. Or rather, that is the equation. But when a is equal to 60, the equations should return 15. So m times 3600 minus 60n minus 100, or rather plus 100 equals 15. So just going to take out the 60 times 60m minus n equals negative 85. So 60m minus n equals negative 85 over 60, which is negative we're based on 15s, so that's negative 5 over 4. Okay, and then we can solve one in terms of the other. So let's do n, I think. N equals 60m plus 5 over 4. Then we substitute. Right, okay, that's what I was doing wrong. That's what I was doing wrong. So now I've got the relationship between n and m. Then I plug that back into the equation. So I've got ma squared minus 3600 m plus 5 over 4 plus 100, and that's just for the value. We're solving for value m. We want this. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're getting there. Hello, Angry Dragon. Good to see you, Angry Dragon. Thank you once again for the very generous 46 months of subscription. Thank you so much, Dragon. We are doing maths, and I'm doing terrible at it. I've spent what must have been... Yeah, I've spent the last hour trying to solve an equation. I've been trying to solve an equation for what the cost of the shoes, like how the cost of the shoes should change over time. It's supposed to look like this, but not scaled like this, and I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing it very wrong. I'm in great pain. But I'm nearly getting there now. I'm nearly getting there now. I just need to work out what the value of m is. When this equation equals 0, I think. So I just need to solve for m, or rather, am I doing this right? So I've got the value, I've got the relationship between n and m, which is fine. At where the value is 50. Okay, where the value is 15, we've got n and m. So now I don't do that. I do let's see. So what do I do? What do I do? So m 3600 minus 60 times 60 m minus n no, 60m plus 5 over 4. Equals 85, or negative 85. So m3600 minus m3600 plus divided by 4 is 15. 15 times 5 is 85, isn't it? Wait, this is just going to work out as 0. Yeah, that's just zero. Fuck, I'm terrible at maths. How's your day been? My day's been not too bad. Very busy day, and we have actually done a lot today. Like, I sound like I'm very frustrated today, and I am. But what we have done is we've came up with much better distributions for what the ages of people attending the gym in our game are going to be. We've got we've got a nice function for the age of the owner of the shoes. We've got nice calculations for the freshness of the shoes, for the condition of the shoes, and for the age of the shoes. We've got some very, very nice variances going on with those. This has taken me over 2 hours. This has taken me over 2.5 hours. I'm literally just doing this to try and figure out what the value of the shoes are. And this is just for one of the factors. My God, I'm so dumb. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? I think I'm going to spend a bit of time trying to solve this off stream. It's good that I've isolated that this is the issue, but I'm clearly beating my head against a brick wall and I'm not quite as clever as I think I am. So I'm probably going to revisit this a little bit at some point. The good news is I have actually pared down what values matter and how. I just need to come up with appropriate calculations from them, and now that I've bashed my head against this for so long, I can see if I can resolve it, which is good. So yeah, fun. Wait a minute, I think I can actually, hold on. 2am minus n equals 0, the turning point. That's fine. So 2am minus n equals 0. I know what a is, so 2 times 60 times m minus n, which we know is 60m plus 5/4. So we just do 60m plus 5/4. That's fine. So then 120m equals 60m plus 5/4. So shibbity boobity boo. We can do 60m equals 5/4. So m equals 5/240ths, which is what is that? 2 off of 1/45th? No, 1/48th, sorry. Divided by 5, 240 divided by 5 is 48, yes. So m is 1/48th. And now am minus n equals 0. 2 times 60m minus that's not what I was looking at. This is m equals 1/48th times 1/48 equals n. So n is equal to 120/48, which is 15/6. Yes. Which is 5/2. Are we done? Have I actually solved it? So that means that the final equation should be 1/48a squared minus 5/2a plus plus 100. Okay, I think I've got it. 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 If I don't have it, I'm going to go insane and we're going to do something else for the last 15 minutes of this stream. Oh my god, why am I doing this? Why have I spent all this time trying to figure this out? Right, this is fine. It's fine. It's fine. Copy, paste, paste. So this is 1 over 48. This is 5 over 2. Not 8 over 2, 5 over 2. 5 over 2. Right, okay, please work. Just for me, just be nice, please. Please. That works. It works. I've done it. My brain, my poor brain. I've been forced to relearn how to do high school level mathematics and my brain hurts. Wonderful. I've done it. Except that's not quite as low as I expected. That's only going down to like 25. Why is that going down to 25? Why is that going down to 25 and not... Oh my god, what have I done wrong? I mean, it's reasonable. It is reasonable. But that's going down to 25 or thereabouts when I wanted to go down to 15. So why is it doing that? Why is it doing that? I've done something wrong somewhere. So yeah, we did the differentiation. When it's at 60 to find that, and then we plug that back into the equation. Get the relationship between n and m. So that was saying that at that turning point, it should be 50. So how did I get that wrong? Minus 85. Divided by 60. Minus 85 over 60. Oh, I did get it wrong. I got the maths wrong. I got the maths wrong, but it's fine. I can solve it. I can solve it now. Okay, so yeah. Minus 85 over 60 is not 5/4. That's what I got wrong. It's very much not 5/4. That is 17/12 instead, yeah. Minus 17/12. So that's 17 over 12. Instead. So n is that. So m has to be rather 120 m is equal to 60 m plus 17 over 12 times what? Nope, just on its own, that's fine. So then 60m is equal to 17 over 12. So then m is equal to that 720, isn't it? 17 over 720. Okay. 17 over 720. I'm actually gonna hold on. $17 over 720. Then we need to solve for n once again, but that's nice and easy. 2 times 60, which is 120 times 17 over 120, not 120, 720, which is actually 17 over 6. Is n is 17 over 6. Right? Right? I've done it. I've actually done it. Thank bloody goody gumdrops, I can actually do maths. It only cost me a lot of my sanity. So now the turning point is at 6015. We can zoom in real close. 6015. I mean, I'd say that's satisfying, but it would have been more satisfying if it had taken me 1 hour less to do it. But right, now we've got it. Now we've actually got it. Now we've actually got it, so that's really good. This is going to be the age mult and the age nof, just for A and N. Right, okay, that's good. I am not dumb. I am only somewhat mentally impaired. Because I'm not actually that clever. But it's fine. It's fine. Issue has been resolved though. Okay. So that's really good. Right. While we're on a roll, well, actually, no, not while I'm on a roll, because that's a terrible idea. I am going to work out the calculations for these tomorrow. I'm going to work out the calculations for the roots tomorrow. I am not doing them today. Today is a bad idea. Today's just a bad idea. It's not a clever plan. It is a bad idea and we're not doing it. I'm doing it later. Something that I do need to look at though is I need to look into some Pygame stuff. Is what I need to do, because we've imported Pygame and all, but I've not actually done anything with it. So yeah, let's take a quick look at Pygame before we go, just so that I've done something, you know, moderately more productive today than trying and failing to do basic maths. So yes, this is all. Is this main loop stuff? Yeah, this is main loop stuff. This is good. So within the main loop, well, this main loop anyway, we are going to want to do Pygame init. It's fine. We can clear out this pass now. So Pygame initialized. I'm just gonna copy a bunch of code from my last project. We're gonna have to set width and height somewhere. We'll have to figure that out a little bit later on, I think. But still. 1280, 720 will be reasonable for now. We're not going to have it called orbit, we're going to have it called fitbox. Used shoes simulator. Window fill, we'll just fill it with white, that's completely fine. We don't need to worry about any of this, we don't need to worry about any of that, that's fine. We will set up the main loop. Running equals true. Or rather, while running walrus true, because I do love the walrus emulator, not emulator, whatever. Um. Where is all that stuff? Okay. Do an import time as well, which is fine. Actually, this needs to go up here. No, we don't need that. Bring that back over. That's fine. While time is running. Move all this in here. So this is going to be the frame rate control. Copy. Are you angry, by the way? MSFP was... Oh yeah, we need the FPS as well. That's also going to be in constant. We're going to aim for 60 FPS, that's fine. I mean, I suppose I don't really need to have it frame rate controlled necessarily. This isn't going to be a Twitch game, so it doesn't matter too much. Let's see. That's all asteroid stuff. Don't care about that. Simulation stuff. For every entity, do a thing, draw a thing. Can copy these, however. So that updates the display. That's fine. NFPS tick, that's fine. Also, did I copy that out? I think it did. I think it did. Right, that's fixed that. Good. Okay. Okay. One last thing before we go. I'm such a pro. Pygame save state. Is there a way to do that within Pygame? That'd be very good. We can just use pickle to serialize Python data. That's probably not the worst idea. Bring a data file. Dump it into a JSON file, dump it into a thingamajiggy. I think this is good to have. Texture called game state is created to hold all game variables, then save to a file, and then load. Okay, that's interesting. Very interesting. I can work with this. I can work with this. Or we could always just pickle. Pickle works. Go away, cookies. So for this, import pickle. Def save game. We'll probably end up moving this elsewhere at some point. Game data is going to be a dictionary, which will have entries. Game data will be there. Okay, sure. So I just need to save everything into there, and that's completely fine. Okay. Okay, that does something. Then we'll need to load the data. Def load game then it's going to be open the save game file. Maybe have an option, yeah, to do add option to load, rather to name or names, rather name saves or save a series of save files. Also potentially screenshots at save time. Alrighty. Alrighty. We've made some progress today. I have not made as much progress as I wish that I had. I have made several tactical errors today. Also, Angel of Ragnarok, I missed that save and hydrate redeem. I've changed my layout recently, so that's my excuse for not being able to see everything that's going on. But thank you very much for those requests. Hugely appreciated. I wish I could adjust the layout of everything, because it's not letting me. Oh, have I locked them? I think I've locked them. Hold on. If I disable, yeah, disable the lock. There we go. Now I can actually move things around and, you know, see what's going on. Wonderful. We'll shunt that over there. Maybe over this side. Yeah, over that side's fine. Right, much better. I can actually see what's going on. Thank you for the hydrate and the stretch. The save. The save is automatic. But the hydrate is not. Okay. What have I achieved today? We'll go back to my diary, because diary is very helpful. Back to the diary. What did we achieve? Achieved today. we set let's see, we set probability functions for various parameters of shoes to be randomly generated, which is good. Figured out part of maths for working out value of shoes. Will make future steps easier also. I'm going to put that in brackets because I'm very sarcastic at myself. Parameters? No, parameters. What else have we done? Implemented basic save load system, but need to add what parts of game state get saved, loaded, and how. Implemented frame rate balancing slash screen updating, basic screen updating. Okay. Honestly, I think we've done a little bit better than I give myself credit for. This is all very basic stuff. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Some of the code has been copied from our previous project, but it's not the most essential of systems. How am I feeling about my progress? I don't know. I feel like I've spent a little bit longer on this than I would have liked, but I have still got plenty of time available. I've still got 2 days before I want the prototypes to be done, and we've already prototyped. The pools. We've prototyped things. We're actually making quite a good bit of progress. Actually, we're moving slightly towards a position of game balance, which is not the best thing to be doing before we actually play the game. But I'm kind of okay with it. I'm kind of content with where they are. Oh, I need to check. Did I actually do the tests on the right section? Yes, it was shoe value, which is right. Okay, that's good. Okay. I'm happy enough. Yeah, this is shoe. It comes from age value test. Yeah, we're still going to be working on value tests. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out what equations I want to... I'm going to do the maths to figure out what the equations for the remaining cost factors are, or what some of them are going to be. And then we'll kind of work from there. I am going to do that off stream. I'm going to plan on doing that tomorrow. I'm going to do all the maths, the derivations, and figuring out what the actual equation should be tomorrow. What we're actually going to do tomorrow is, I think next time we're going to focus a little bit more on Pygame. So I'm going to work on creating like some basic screens and what have you. So a screen for the main titles, for starting a new game, for showing sections that are going to look like... what are they called? It's going to look like visual novel segments. A section that's going to look like selling shoes scene and another scene for gacha. So I think we're going to be testing some of the, or rather prototyping the 3 major screens that are going to be shown in this game. One for visual novel, one for selling, and one for gacha. We should be able to throw something together relatively quick for that tomorrow. So that's going to be my plan for tomorrow. And then, I mean, from then all we have to do is start actually stitching things together. Honestly, like, the more I think about it, the more I'm literally holding myself back. Like, the thing that's holding me back today has just been that I've spent so long thinking about maths unnecessarily at a time that is not optimal for me. I'm going to try and be a bit more tactical about that. I thought I'd actually done some decent prep. I could have done more prep. My prep did get me in the right direction, and there's also quite a bit of like trial and error going on, but I mostly need to avoid that happening. But lessons being learned, and I think we're still doing okay as far as time's concerned. I can throw something together that's rubbish relatively quickly, but this is helping me plan, this is helping me think. I feel like I can afford to make a couple of dumb mistakes now, as long as I observe the timelines that I've actually got in place. Like, if I take, like, see if I'm still messing around with these kind of calculations before the prototyping stage is over, I am wasting time. I am wasting time past this point. I think this is acceptable right now. But I'm gonna have to be careful. I'm gonna have to be careful moving forward. So, very interesting actually. We'll see how this goes, actually. We'll see how this goes. So, we'll be picking this up again tomorrow, as I say. We'll be picking this up at 7 PM UTC plus 0. We'll be running for around about 3 hours, and we will be focusing on doing some prototyping within Pygame. Honestly, this is stuff that's around about the base engine section. We're a little bit ahead of base engine, but we're going to need to do a lot more polish before the 9th. That's gonna be fun. Fortunately, that's gonna be over the weekend, and I can do a lot of polishing in that time. Art, I'm starting to get a bit concerned about. Programming, I think I should be broadly okay for. Call me hubristic, but I think I'm gonna do not too bad. Yeah, honestly, I'm making some little mistakes here with how I'm dedicating my time to this, but I think I can recover from them, and I think I'm learning important lessons. So, wish me well with the rest of the streams. We'll see how they go. But yeah, we'll call things here. Thank you once again, everyone, so much for coming along. Whether you've been here from the start, you came along partway through, you've dropped in and out, what have you, I really do appreciate it. Special thank you to Angry Dwagon for 46 months of support. Absolutely insane. I do not give Angry Dwagon enough credit sometimes. I really don't. So yeah, hugely appreciated Angry Dwagon. And Age of Ragnarok, thank you for dropping by. Same for TV, same for Wendy, same for Nucleus, same for Kuro. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. This has been, hopefully, the last ridiculously maths and silly boring testing stream that I do. Hopefully tomorrow and going forward we'll be doing some more crunchy and more visual stuff as well. So look forward to that. But until tomorrow, take care of yourselves, be very good to yourselves, and I will see you all again very, very soon indeed. Bye bye everyone. Bye 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 bye. Bye bye. Oh my god, I need to not be so bad at maths. Or if I am bad at maths, I need to make sure that I actually, you know, cover for myself. And maybe tomorrow we'll even be able to stream. And maybe tomorrow we'll actually be able to stream on YouTube. Wouldn't that be nice? That would be very nice, actually. Just one of the many things that didn't quite go to plan during the prep for all this. But it's fine. We'll just pick it up again later. It's okay. It's okay. You don't need to worry. All is good. Actually, I'm feeling better about this. I'm feeling better about this than I was. Than I was a couple days ago. So yeah. I'm not feeling too bad about it. I think we'll just drop off here. So until next time, take care. No raid. Catch y'all soon. Mata ne.